All right. Hello, friends. Happy Wednesday. It's Kristen. I'm over on essentialleveryday.com. And I'm happy to be here today. I'm happy to chat with you guys about some words of wonder. Today is December 2nd, and I was listening to actually a sermon on Sunday, and he was talking about wonder during our Christmas season. And what if we actually spent time returning to that wonder? We spent time actually trying to um, bring ourselves back into that space of awe and excitement and thankfulness and gratitude and just all of those things that come with, hey, Emily, all of those things that come with wanting to enjoy the moment. And what if we said no to more things, like we said no to extra, this time of year parties and things like that aren't happening, right? But what if we said no to working extra? What if we said no to, um, you know, social media? What if we said no to actually the media, like news? Um, and just taking time to actually think about what it is that fills our brain, who it is that we're trusting to speak truth into our lives, who are we allowing to speak anything into our lives. Um, it made me think, okay, where am I finding news sources? Where am I spending my time on social media? And then we had that conversation with our kids as well, like where is what are you spending your day on, right? So, if you look at how you spend your time during the day, what is it that's speaking words of either truth or negativity or fear or whatever, any type of, it could just be humor. But if we are spending, most of our day on those things, is it really encouraging us? Is it really speaking life into us? Is it really giving us something to brighten our day, to encourage us, to build us up, to build um, that strength and that endurance? You guys know that in 2020, it has been this crazy year, right? And I think for a lot of us, our anxiety, our overwhelm, our moods they've become this, it's festering, this increasing, this, for a lot of people, it's become a very big issue, a big problem. And I think a lot of that is because where we're spending our time is on platforms and with and around people that aren't speaking any source of truth into our lives, right? And so I just wanted to take a minute today to encourage you in some different ways to look at how you're spending your days and your time, and to look at what it is that you're allowing to speak those words into your life. And I hope that you'll find that when, as you kind of take some time to look over these pieces of your life, to look at where you're giving up your day, that you'll find some sources that allow you to say no to some things, that allow you to build into your life in a different way. So what I mean by that is, well, your first challenge is to actually take some time to look at your day and write out even a list of, you know, how do I start my morning? What TV shows am I watching? What news programs am I watching? What podcasts am I listening to? And then maybe you even look at your phone and look at where it's telling you that you've spent the most time on different apps. And I get that announcement or that alert every Sunday. It tells me you've spent such and such amount of time on these apps or whatever. And so just kind of looking over that and seeing if there are some ways that you could lessen the amount of time that you spend on those platforms. Um, and then looking at, I want to challenge you to look at how you start your day. And this was a big one for me way back in the day. I started probably 7 years ago. I was the type that, in post or pre kids, I um, I did have jobs that I always just rolled out of bed and, was lucky if I got a shower in that morning, hit my snooze several times. And so then I would, get ready, go to work, maybe grab breakfast, maybe not. So I was barely awake by the time I got there at 8, right? So then kids roll along, and I was the stay at home mom. And so that meant that I slept until they woke up, which meant I also didn't have a morning routine. I was just waiting until they got up, right? But then once my firstborn started kindergarten, that was when it changed. And that was when I needed to um, find some rhythm in the morning. Otherwise, I felt like I was just on this train all day, like racing to the next thing and just never getting a moment to take a deep breath. And so at some point in there, I decided that I was going to start getting up, hopefully at 6, because my son usually got up at 7. And so I would get up at 6, and I would get my coffee, and I would brew it the night before. That's a key thing, is to not to brew it the night before, but have it on auto brew the night before. Okay, so that it starts brewing at a certain time in the morning, and this was beneficial for my husband as well. So it would brew, and I knew that when I got up that I could go out into the kitchen and my coffee would already be ready, which is a really big thing because I love to have a warm cup of coffee with me, or hot cup of coffee with me as I sit down, and this really helps me to wake up. I love the warmth of it. I love the rhythm, the routine of it. And so I grab my Bible, I grab my journal, I grab my pens and my washi tape and my different devotionals, and I sit and I read. And in the quiet, sometimes I sit and I find myself just staring. And I'm just, thinking about nothing, maybe. Maybe I'm just letting my mind wake up, taking my sips of coffee. And but I'm also taking some time to actually read and think about what I've read, letting my body, my soul, my mind, my heart be filled with truth. For me, that's an absolute truth. And every time that I spend time in the Word, that I spend time reading, not necessarily even the Bible, but people that I respect, people that have more wisdom than I have, more input, more years than I have. And so as I read their words, it ministers to my heart. It refills my cup. It nourishes my mind. It gives me truth that I can hold on to and hope that I can hold on to throughout the day. And so in that time period, I'm nourishing my brain, I'm nourishing my heart, I'm refilling my cup so that as I go throughout the rest of my day, I'm hopefully more aware of what's going on, more aware of who I'm listening to, more aware of troubles, things that are on my heart and my mind, and I'm letting those truths that I read earlier continue to nourish me and fill me and guide me throughout the day, so that I'm making choices based on those truths, not on the news that I heard in the car on the way to school or whatever. So that's not a win all. It doesn't necessarily, because I woke up in the morning and I spent that time doing that, it doesn't mean that things are all hunky dory. And I don't know where that saying came from anyway. Anyone knows, let me know. But it doesn't mean that everything's perfect. It just means that I can tell the days that I have not chosen to get up early and I've slept until 7, and then I'm rushing through the morning with the kids because I'm behind on my schedule. And then I feel like I'm kind of just in that getting by, or I don't know, there's just something to it, getting up, starting before the rest of the house wakes up, giving me that time, I guess. So throughout the day, then, I think it's really important to set alerts. We talked about this during the gratitude challenge. Set alerts on your phone for things that you want to be reminded of during the day, not just the pick up the kids or pick this up from the grocery store, or not just those reminders, but reminders like, hey, what miracle did you see today? So that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today, is that challenge, obviously, to wake up in the morning, to set your routine in the morning so that you are set for the rest of the day, so you don't find yourself just running and rushing throughout the day, right? But also, if there's things that you can do, like setting an alarm on your phone that says, look for a miracle. So back in the day, I had this book it was so good. I need to see if I can find a copy of it still. It was called Return to Wonder. And it was just about looking for those miracles, those things that just make you go, oh, they are jaw dropping. They make you get all giddy. They make you go, oh my gosh, like just really amazing things. It could be a spider web. It could be seeing the frost on, the dead leaves and flowers out there. It could be watching a dog play in the yard. It could be watching your chickens chase each other around in the chicken coop. Whatever it is, but the thing is stopping what you're doing enough to actually see the beauty in the moment, right? So taking the month of December and returning to wonder, I really want to encourage you guys to actually look at this season, and instead of rushing around like crazy mad people, actually taking the time to look for those wonder moments, to become people of wonder, to become people that actually have awe and wonder and inspiration about them. There is a current book that I have that is called Edge of Wonder, and it's by Victoria Erickson, I mean. And there are little things in here. These are all like they're kind of like short story-ish, just one-page poem or inspiration or whatever. But there's just good thoughts in here, like this one. You should always gaze up at the sea of stars, opening our nights, and remember again and again that you're in an awesomely vast and wild universe where nearly anything can happen. And at any given time, that when our perspective shifts, so do our hearts. I want you guys to fill your December mind with things that make you appreciate life. Things that make you appreciate where you're at, things that make you excited, things that make you see miracles, because the more that we focus on these things, the more that we look for miracles, the more that we look for moments, the more you'll see them, and the more that you'll focus on them, and you'll find that your mindset does start to shift. Your mindset starts to acknowledge that these miracles are around us, that you can see these things around you, that you are in a amazing universe, like she was saying, a vast, amazing, awesome, wild universe. You will start to find yourself shift and change, and your gratitude will increase, your mood will increase, your level of excitement and love for life will increase. I know that all of us are different people, and some of us are just more prone to the negative nature. Some of us are more prone to worry. Some of us are more prone to excitement and the adventure. Some of us are more prone to being introspective and reflecting. But all of us have that choice to look for the good. All of us have the choice to look for these things to be excited about, to wonder about. Okay, so I hope that that gives you some inspiration, some challenge as you go into the month of December to really set your sights on things that can encourage, things that uplift. And I hope that that means that you will come back and join me next Wednesday. So we're live on Facebook and Instagram every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Central. And then if you need to catch the replay or you want to catch some previous recordings, we are always over at YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube, would you take a minute to subscribe to the channel? That gives me some love and I appreciate it. And if you're watching over on Instagram and Facebook, would you take a minute to share this in your stories, leave a comment? I love those of you that do. It makes me happy, and it's supporting of women in business and friends, right? So have a great rest of your Wednesday and find some things that encourage and inspire and show you that wonder in life. All right, bye.